Okay, good evening, guys. So, as a recap here, we are trying to make a wedding ring to replace this one, which I was unaware that I could get a free replacement for, but nevertheless, we're making a new one. We've made different versions. This right here would be the first version. This is the second. This is the last one that we made, but it had a failure point right here in the middle. And that was partially due to the fact that we used this vacuum chamber to pull all the gas out of the silicone that we have right here, and it caused a bubble on the top. So what we did this time is we mixed up our silicone, and then we put it through this little chamber before we actually pulled it into the syringe to inject it into this mold. So now we're going to open this mold up and see if we can't have a good ring, a replacement for this one, because this one is just a little thick. It needs a nice rounded top. So let's open her up. Now I haven't looked at this yet. This is the second time that we tried to run this version 3 ring, this one right here. The main difference is here, if we look at our molds, one, the molds are getting more and more streamlined. This is the mold for the first one. This is the mold for the second one. 7 pieces on this one, 3 pieces on this one, and this one is 2 parts. This one and this one have the ring in there horizontally, whereas this one has it in there vertically. And what that does is it makes a defining line down the middle of it. But honestly, when we looked at this one, it really isn't that big of a deal because it just, a little bit of work and it just comes right off and you can't even tell there's a line there. Well, I guess you can if you look hard enough, but I mean, who's going to look hard enough? It's just a damn wedding ring. Okay, so let's open her up. Open it up. Pretty easy. 5 screws, 4 on the outside corners and 1 in the middle. The idea here was to avoid as much flash as possible. We also have this thing set up so that we are filling from the bottom up. That way we try to get all the air out that we possibly can. Alright. Let's see what we got. Oh man, I'm going to get something to pry that thing open. Okay, so we got our pried open, and this is what we got. Now this is exactly what we want. We've got a very good defined part. We have a little bit of flash around the edge, which you're always going to get when you have printed stuff like this. But the ring itself looks phenomenal. And that's exactly what we're after. Should pull out nice and easy. You should have a part just like that. Okay, so this right here is our actual ring. Now, we decided to make this thing backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the flash material, or we're going to cut off the filling material, which would be this right here is the filling point. This is where it comes out the top. And then we just basically just rotate it 180 degrees. So let me see if I can't cut that off without any major issues here. There we go. Nice and neat. And then we just clean off the flash from the mold, which only takes you a few minutes. Once you get it all cleaned up, you should have something like this right here. Now, as you can see, we have the groove, the little channels in there, which, if I remember right, the whole reason that they sell this ring like this is to help keep sweat away from your fingers, which, I mean, it makes sense. Why not? So we have the little grooves that I put in the print. You can see the parting line down the middle, but who cares? And in general, not too bad. Now, when we look at it compared to the groove ring, so let me flip that back around. Compared to the groove ring here, we're pretty close. Now, this is not necessarily for everybody. This is my kind of thing because I don't want to pay for rings, and I at the time did not know that these were free, but honestly, this material is a little bit softer and it's pretty dang comfortable, and thus far it's proven to be exceedingly durable. So let's look at it compared to the other one real quick. So we have the 2 and the 3. You can see the different versions here. Sorry, that's not the 3. Here we go, 3. Okay, so version 1, real thin, 10 millimeters thick. This one is real thick, about 8 millimeters. And this one here is thick, but it's got a nice curvature on the outside. So when you put on gloves and stuff, it doesn't hang up and try to reverse on you. As far as comfort goes, let's see what we got. Oh. not bad. Not bad. I'm not going to say that I can't feel it, but honestly, I have to really focus to be able to feel the thing at all. Now, any of this little flash that we still have on the ring will get worn off over time. And down the road, if I ever need to make another one, it's just as 2 little mold parts, 5 screws, and I think it's about 5 hours for the molding material to dry, and then we're good to go. Now, this obviously isn't for everybody. I mean, a lot of people just gonna buy another ring. Why not? But you could easily make your own custom ring using the same kind of technique. If you run the mold through a DLP printer or an SLA or an SLS or SLA machine, and you get some really cool details on it and make your own custom silicone wedding rings. Or, if you're like me, then you just have your wedding ring mold thrown in a box somewhere, and if you ever need to make another one, you can do it.